This video is for role play, is a role play educational purposes only. It is not intended for it is not an actual counseling session. So good morning, Germany.
Hey.
The last time we met, you were having difficulty communicating with your fiance.
Mm-hmm.
How has the communication progressed since then?
You know, I took a little bit of your advice, and things have changed. They've changed.
Tell me about how they changed.
Well, the same day we had the little counseling session, I decided to go ahead and do what you told me to do.
Which was?
I believe you told me to, be more, not so passive aggressive, be more demanding, but not demanding. Or pretty much just state what you want, what you need, what needs. Pretty much just let him know what's on your mind in a way where he will understand, I guess. I would say that there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what I did. I just told him, I just sent him a message. I said, hey, I can't do this. I can't do this. Like I said, I can't. That's exactly what I told you. I was like, I can't do this because I just feel like nothing's being reciprocated. I feel like I've done everything I can do. I said, I've tried this, I've tried that. And I said, I've done all I can do and I've done all I'm going to do. And I said, that's it.
So how did he react to that?
He actually responded back like right away. He was like, he was like, I understand where you're coming from, but he was like, I don't want this to end or whatever. So I was like, well, and so I just told him, I said, well, you're not. He was like, well, let me finish what he said. He was like, well, I don't want us to end. He was like, I want to continue, being engaged. And he was like, I was like, so what are we gonna do about how you gonna go about that? He was like, I was like, cause all I've been trying to do was talk to you and communicate. And I said, it's just hasn't been working. He was like, I know my work schedule has been a problem, and it probably will be. But he was like, if you just find some time to sit down and talk with me tomorrow, sometime this week, I'm just gonna have to carve out some time within my work schedule while I'm at work to, bring you on board and sit down and talk with you or whatever.
So how did that make you feel?
I was so daggum tired of him, I didn't care. It didn't matter if he actually went through with it or not. At that point, I was just like, we'll see. I tell him that no. All I did was I tried to stay positive instead of being rude. I was like, okay. I said, I just need you to communicate more and just be more, not more honest, because it's not that he's being dishonest, but I just need you to let me know what's going on. Can you make it? Can you not? We're going here, we're going there. We're not going to do this or we're going to do that. And so he's like, I understand. And so he started doing that. And we did actually have a sit down and talked about it or whatever, about how I've been feeling.
So was he able to open up and tell you exactly how he felt about the engagement and how you actually feel about, him having to find a babysitter or a sitter for his children and calling you at the last minute?
He said he's gonna try to get some things set up in advance from this point forward and try to get things arranged for his kids, or he'll just bring me on, like, because like I told you, he has way too many jobs to me. But hey, you want to do that? Okay, I just need you to work and put me in there. He works in law enforcement, army. He's active full time in both of those. He also does side jobs. with the army and police stuff. So I'm just like, okay. And so he kind of let me know like what's been going on. He found like he just like a lot of times been overtime lately, really like major overtime. And so he was just like, I'm just gonna have to not put me in there somewhere like that, but like just kind of push me in the schedule some kind of way. And so he's just been pretty much adding time, and as far as the kids, it hasn't been an issue lately. And if it is, he'll just tell me he can't make it ahead of time, or he'll tell me, okay, what's going on. You know, he'll let me know what's going on.
So are you satisfied with the changes?
Thus far, yes. Right now, yes. I mean, we still have some more things we could talk about, but I don't want to just splurge everything on at once. I don't want to seem like a jerk because I can. I don't want to. I don't know.
So I know last time we talked, you had a habit of saying whatever. So how have you stopped using that term as much? Or have you stopped using that term?
You know, I've noticed I have not used that term.
That's good. That's good. So,
well, but the only issue is he said I'm smart mouth now. Now I kind of speak up and say whatever I want to. He's like, oh Lord.
So are you giving him the same opportunities to open up and talk to you as he's giving you, as opposed to just being one-sided?
What do you mean?
So before, he was actually not saying much as far as when you go out, he would just not respond. And then you would do all the talking. So has that changed now?
Oh, like when we actually go out together?
Mm-hmm.
Or like when we're texting?
Well, both. Because I know you said that you will be communicating and then he won't respond. Or, you know, when you get in your whatever mode, then he wouldn't respond, or he would just let you talk. So has that changed?
Yeah, that part's changed as far as through text. We're still working on. We talk in person. I mean, of course we talk in person. We got engaged, but we're still working on him. Look, as far as like being a little bit more open. Like, cause he's just quiet in general, but he still talks. But of course, I still talk more.
Okay, so let's just say that you've made it past the engagement into the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 years from now, how do you see your relationship?
Oh Lord. I see it. I think if we keep going the way we're going, we'll be just fine. It's still some things I want to work through before we go all the way, but I think we just keep going the way we're going. We're gonna be fine, because I'm starting to notice now. It probably has, if some of the stuff that's happening really probably doesn't have anything to do with me. It has to do with stuff before me or whatever he's going through with the kids, mama. I don't know, but that's where I think all this stuff is stemming from. But us, as far as 3 years from now, I think we'd be fine if we keep on the same track that we're on now. If we go back to how we were, there will be nothing. That would be all bad.
So last time I asked if you thought that he would want to come in and come into the session. Did you ask him about that?
I forgot.
So how do you think he would feel about coming in?
You know what, we had a really good conversation now I think about it, but no, I did not ask him about that. He might be open to it.
Okay. So all of the things that you're telling me, do you think that his answers would be the same?
I think this gonna be his answer. Well, I have a big old schedule, or whatever, so I'm always very busy right now, especially what's going on with both of my jobs. They're very demanding, but I understand where she's coming from because a woman deserves to be treated a certain type of way. But I mean, I do have a job that requires me to be doing overtime right now, especially, and I do have 2 kids.
So I know this is a question that would be directed to him, but my question to you is, knowing that he has such a demanding schedule and 2 children, why do you think it's a great idea to be in a committed relationship with someone that can't give you the type of attention that you want right now?
Because he is a great guy and I do like him and love him. But actually there is no but. It's just I'm okay with it. I just need communication.
Okay. But you know that in the line of work that he's in, being in the military or being in law enforcement, that there are some times that he can't communicate, or sometimes, just say, if he's on assignment, maybe he's undercover and he can't. So how will you be able to handle that then?
I'm learning that as we speak. But I did date somebody else who was in the law enforcement before he was, and I kind of learned from there how to deal with that. Even though the other guy was more of a communicator, he could talk more frequently and things like that, but he also didn't have as much on his plate. But I've kind of learned how to deal with that just by, I guess, being around it and see what actually happens. So that just really don't bother me too much. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but then it's like, it's all right.
So that's just something that you signed up for, so you're good with
it. Pretty much.
Okay.
Because typically, sometimes even when they're doing their assignments, they can still talk to you or message you. I mean, they shouldn't probably, but
yeah, it could get to the point where it's dangerous.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But what else? I don't know. I just I think the progress is cool. It's just I feel there could be more. There should be more. I don't know, something still not there. We're almost there, but we're not there. That's what I feel.
So it sounds to me that you are really interested in the relationship and that you really want everything to go right. Of course, no relationship is 100%.
Why not?
That's just life. So,
wait. But I thought we were supposed to give 100, 100. So how can it not be 100% at the least?
Well, no relationship is 100% good, I should say.
Oh.
There's going to be good times, there are going to be bad times.
I think it's what I got to get out of my head, because I think every relationship should be perfect, the one you're going to be with. I think that's my issue as well.
But then nothing in life is perfect.
Why can't our relationship's really that hard, though? Like, seriously.
Well, a relationship is a job. It takes work.
All you do is call the person. Hey, please, what you want? Hey, what you want to do? Da, 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 da. What you doing? How you doing? How's your day going? How's your night? Good night. Da, da, da. Let's go hang out. Let's not hang out.
But that's work. It takes work, and both people have to be on the same page as far as the job that they're doing. Because if you're calling and calling and calling, and then he's not answering, then that's one person doing the work and the other person's not. Or if you're trying to argue and he's not trying to argue, he's trying to do the work and you're not, because there's no communication there, because you're just talking at each other. So you have to be able to, you have to compromise, and you're doing a good job at compromising as far as, okay, I know he has to work and he's not going to have time to actually talk to me face to face, so I can text, or I leave a message or a sweet little note or something like that. So that's good work too. But you're not going to agree on everything. Whatever you like, he might not. and vice versa. I mean, there may be times when he's not going to be able to go somewhere. He's going to have to take the kids somewhere. And you might not be able to go, because it might have something to do with his ex-in-laws or whatever. So there's a lot of different things that, that you're going to have to accept and that he's going to have to accept.
I may not be able to go.
You might not. I mean, you may not even want to.
I can understand the not one, but I can't.
Well, yeah. I mean, but then it depends on his relationship with his ex and then your attitude and your relationship about them together. So is that something that you guys have discussed?
That's okay. Now, see, that's my only concern right there. Not only concern, but one of my concerns. We're trying to get married, right? He got 2 kids, right? But the ex, of course, don't like me. She can barely stand dealing with him. So she's not really going to want the kids to come to the wedding.
And then that's something that he's going to have to handle. Because in a lot of relationships, the ex, there's some animosity there because they're not together anymore. So in order for her to hurt him, then she uses the children. Now, it's not right, but it happens. So he's going to have that communication with her in order to find out, okay, what's going on, this, that, and the other. And if he has to get the courts involved, as far as him being able to get visitations and do everything that he needs to do with them, then that's what he's going to have to do. But then before you get married, you guys need to really discuss the fact that she doesn't like you for whatever reason. Because one thing about it, you don't ever want to stand in the middle of somebody raising their children, because it's not the children's fault, And there's a lot of women that are on the other side of that. That's not what they think. They think, oh, he's not with me, or he's not doing this with me. It's all about me. It's not about the children. It's me. But that's just something that he's going to have to deal with her. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to be there to support him and to support his children. But at the same time, you don't want to cause any problems between him and the mom and the children, because then that'll put you right in the middle of it, and then all of you will be pulled apart.
Because that's like the other issue, because he basically has the custody, like they say, with him. But of course they go over to their mother, especially because they're like the only two that, when he's not with them, she got him. And we know that youngest one is not gonna stay quiet about it.
Well, I mean, it's not a secret that he's dating, and it shouldn't be. But it's just the point of the fact that he needs to man up and talk to her. Hey, I'm in this relationship and this is what's going on. But he needs to talk with her so that she's comfortable with you being around the children. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to explain that, because you want to be comfortable around the children. You don't want to cause any animosity between, the families, because you don't want to tear the families apart.
Well, I mean, of course she knows them around him because they stay at his house.
Right.
So now, I mean, I know majority of the time when he's with his kids, I mean, I'm not there a lot of times, but I mean, I don't live there, but of course I am over there and around them because they're his kids and they live with him. Right. So when he's at home, he has them and me there. So I mean, my only concern is like the wedding part, like, because I know the youngest one to go tell, of course, and she's gonna try to find a way.
Well, like I said, it's up to him to have that communication with her. He has to do that, because he can't just let it slide. There has to be communication there between him and her, and there has to be an understanding, because, I mean, nobody's going to be in this world alone, So it's really up to him to man up and talk to her and tell her, this is what I'm doing. Not getting her permission, but this is what I'm doing. This is who I'm going to be with, and the kids are going to be here, and that's his right, just like it's her right to be with whomever she wants to be with. So they just have to agree to disagree, or agree to get along, because it's not your fault that they're not together. So they're just going to have to really talk it out.
Yeah, like she knows I'm in the picture. I'm pretty sure she knows he's serious. So I mean, but I just know when it comes down to the wedding time, because like she doesn't know when the date is or anything like that. I'm pretty sure that's where the issue is going to lie, when she knows it's actually about to be official.
Yeah, it can get testy, but like I said, he just has to man up and take charge, and this is what's going to happen.
So I guess what I need to work on now is the timing. It's like, how long is all this going to occur?
It's a good question to ask. Yeah. So how will you go about asking him how long is all this going to occur and what's going to happen next?
Because he works magnificently long hours. And at first, I was honestly not believing him anymore. Cause, at first I wasn't like this. It was just, we were just cool. I mean, we still had our communication issues in the beginning, but we were doing fine. But then all of a sudden it got bad once it seemed like he started working more. A lot of times when guys start working more, that means somebody else in the picture probably. But I just felt he was literally working. And once I actually sat down and had the conversation with him, I learned he really is working. So he sat down and told me his whole schedule.
Yeah. So what on top of the schedule, like I said, you're going to have to figure out how you're going to talk to him about what's going to happen next. How are we going to do this? How are we going to make sure the kids are there? How are we going to be happy? How are you going to deal with your ex? You have to discuss all those things before you say I do.
Yeah, because like right now he's just I'm pretty much just going to work with him. Like I have to go meet him while he's on the clock. We just might go out to some restaurant, might go out wherever. But of course he has to go right back to work, or sometimes we actually get interrupted because he has to call and he has to go.
So I guess for homework, you're going to have to make a list of the things that you want to know, how you're going to do this, and how you're going to make sure that everything is going to go as according to plans, what type of plans you're wanting to have, so that you guys can get to the point to where you actually set a date and get ready to move to the next step. So it's hopefully it will get easier. It's just a little confusing right now because there's so many different parts to it. But I think if we could figure out a time that either we could meet somewhere and he could come to, that way we get his feelings out and find out what his thoughts are. So is that something you think we could happen within the next couple of weeks?
He gonna have to. Or something out still.
So we'll get together in a couple of weeks, and you'll call me and let me know when a good time is for him, and we can decide where we can meet and for how long. Sounds like a plan to you?
All
right. Until then.